What's up guys, welcome to SFIF, the name is Joe. So this is the official kickoff video for my experience with Rosecraft blades. Check it out. So before I show you some of the knives that I acquired from Rosecraft Blades thus far, I wanted to get you a little history on Rosecraft Blades as a company. So Rosecraft Blades is an American knife company. They're based in Maryville, Tennessee, and they were founded in 2021. So they're a fairly new company. They offer high quality, modern and traditional knives designed by a select team of American knife designers. Rosecraft Blades sources the best materials and manufacturers from around the world to produce its knives and plans to build a manufacturing facility in the USA in the future, which is mad cool. In short, they make knives for people who love knives. Their motto is be sharp, stay sharp. The Rosecraft venture was started with Mr. Bill Rose, their grandfather, who was a World War II vet. He was a toolmaker, product restorer. He made custom leather pieces and eventually started calling his projects Rosecraft. In honor of his legacy, the Rosecraft name continued with grandsons Harper and Hawkins to continue high quality, great designs, and most of all, pride in their work, which is so important in this knife industry today. The Rosecraft team compiled thereafter is fantastic and has great bios that you can check out on their website. First, we have Andy Armstrong. He has 24 years of experience in the knife industry. He has produced designs for well-known brands like Colt, Remington, Case, and even brands like Tops and Essie, CRKT, and Kershaw. So he's got a pretty long list of knife companies that he's been designing for. He's looking forward to taking his knife design skills to the next level and helping to develop his design team talent as general manager and lead designer at Rosecraft Blades. Next, we have Savannah Swaggerty. She originally appeared as a guest on a knife podcast hosted by Andy Armstrong. She was supposed to be only a guest for 2 episodes, but the audience liked her so much that they added her to the cast. The knife community came to know her simply as Swags. Over the next couple of years, Swags learned everything she could about the knife industry and appeared in literally hundreds of knife videos and live broadcasts. In 2020, she designed her first knife from Kaiser, the Swag Swayback. Her second knife was CJRB. Swags has appeared in both Blade and SHOT Show for CJRB. They recently released the sequel to her popular CJRB, the Malia. When Andy started the process of building Rosecraft team, it seemed only natural to add Swags to the mix. And she's definitely a welcome addition. Then you got Hawkins Rose. He has been around the knife industry since he was an infant and fell in love with knives from a very early age. He made his debut as a knife designer with the launch of Rosecraft Blades, and his ideas and love of knives are evident in the design of the Mohawk, which is mad cool, the Little Chunk, and the Ajuta. I love all those knives, which I'm really digging all of his designs thus far. Chase Snyder comes by his love of knives, and honestly, as a carpenter, he worked with his hands and the tools of the trade for nearly 20 years, and that includes a lot of knives. Chase looks forward to getting even more hands-on with knife design and knife making. He's working toward a certification and hopes to lead the USA-based manufacturing team from Rosecraft in the future. They are all just a fantastic compiled team, and they're really bringing the fun factor in their knife making and designs. Just all in all, great bunch of people, talented experts in the field, really looking forward to what they bring to the table as time goes on for Rosecraft Blades. So now let's take a look at the knives that I'm going to be carrying, using, and testing on future videos. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so what you've been waiting for, let's get into an introductory of the knives. Before I even get into the knives, guys, the way they deliver everything, I love the Rosecraft boxes, okay, that they give you. I love the red and black. It's probably my 2 favorite colors, okay, to put on and as many knives as I possibly can, especially on the boxes. I love how they deliver everything. They gave me a keychain, Rosecraft keychain, which I'm definitely going to sport. Love this thing too. They gave me a mad cool sticker from Rosecraft, and they also gave me the Rosecraft official coin, okay, which is also pretty damn cool. So you can see close-ups on the screen of that. And also the cup holder, what's it called, a koozie or something like that. I forget how this thing is called, but you know, put your can in. This is man cool. This is so great things that they gave me with the purchase of these knives. And of course they gave me 2 lollipops. So they're just guys, the fun factor of this company and the coolness factor of this company is off the charts. I mean, that's my favorite thing about their knives. It's been a really long time since I've been this excited about receiving knives from a new knife company as I have with Rosecraft blades. I mean, they're just such great carrying knives. They're great performing knives. They're so damn sharp out of the box. The designs are really cool and fresh and new. They fit in the hand great. The first knife that I want to show you, which I'm actually carrying today, is going to be the Little Chunk, okay? I absolutely love this freaking knife. It was designed from Hawkins Rose. It's D2 steel. Hawkins Rose, I think, is going to end up being one of my favorite designers at Rosecraft because I absolutely am in love with 3 of his knife designs. This particular knife is kind of my favorite. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details of this knife. I'm not going to test them. I'm just kind of showing them off to you. It's an introductory thing I'm doing, but this kind of just really fits my hand extremely well. I have large hands, not extra large hands, not small hands. I have large hands, and this kind of really fits my hand extremely well. You can definitely choke up on the blade here for some finer work. You got the jimping here, so you can kind of go all the way in to kind of choke it up to do some finer work here on the blade. There's no need for a finger choil here because you kind of really, for me, this is a perfect contour of how this thing was designed. Really love this Wharncliffe blade, D2 steel, love the edge design, and just the girth of the handle, the red liners, of course. I absolutely love the red liners. That kind of just catches all the meat in your hand. This just makes for an amazing everyday carry. Now, you all seen Scab from Quality Boys Cutlery Outdoors. He's an ambassador to Rosecraft. He puts these things through their paces, and they really fared very well, even through his tests. So I'm pretty confident they're going to handle it, but I am definitely going to put it through my own paces to let you know my testament as far as how strong I think these knives are, how strong the lockup and everything. I mean, so far these things don't wiggle, they don't move. They really a solid lockup. Really, this is probably one of my favorites, okay, of the Rosecraft blades that I have thus far. It just talks to me. It fits in my hand really well. It carries in the pocket very well. Beautiful black and red liners. I absolutely love the colors, as I must have said a million times, but this is definitely one of my favorites. Also, you have to check out Big Red EDC. JB is also an ambassador of Rosecraft. He does a great job in also descripting these knives. He digs them as well. So there's a lot of feedback out there, aside from what I'm doing now, that show you that Rosecraft Blades is for real. They're a cool company. They're making some quality knives, and really at this point for really budget prices. Okay, the prices you can't beat for really the type of quality that you're getting thus far from their knives. Now, this knife is the Ajuta. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Also designed from Hawkins Rose. Okay, this has a micarta on one side and stainless steel here, so it makes it a really solid frame lock system. Very solid in the hand. I love the blade shape. I love the sharpness out of the box of all their knives, and again, really nice look, and again, fits nice in the hand. It's just perfect, guys. It's not overwhelming. It's not overwhelming in the pocket. It just fits really good in the hands. Now, if you have extra large hands, there is a little bit of a lip here, but for the most part, I think even with extra large hands, if I set my hand back a little bit, I think that this will still be well. But I would say this is optimal for anyone with large hands. This just kind of fits like a glove right in the hand. Again, you can choke up on the knife here. It's just, again, a really good knife. Another great design from Hawkins Rose. This Ajuta is actually RPM 9 steel. Again, looking forward to really carrying each and every one of these knives and get you a testament of how they hold up, how they carry, and how they handle everyday materials and even extraordinary materials if you are going camping. Next knife designed from good old Swags, okay, and also it's a partnership with CJRB and Swags in designing this knife. This is the Milea, okay. This is pretty interesting, this knife here, because you can open it a couple different ways. You have the red thumb studs here that you can kind of just open it up with ease, okay. It has a really good detent as far as closing it. You also have, you can kind of, I think you could Spidey, well, that was a bad one. It's a little bit short to Spidey flick it, but you can, with a little bit of a flick action, you can spidey flick this. And another way you can open it with this tab right here on the top, okay, you can kind of just thumb slide it right over here from the top. So there's actually probably about 3 ways that you can deploy this knife. Okay, handle again for large hands, fits, it just hugs, guys. I can't describe it. It's not a very big handle, but just the way they contoured the handle, it just fits into my hand extremely well. Very comfortable, no fatigue or anything I can imagine from working with it. You can kind of choke up on this as well. Really comfortable finger jipping on the top of all these blades. And again, repeat it over and over again, a crazy sharp out of the box, which is something that us knife users and collectors of knives and lover of knives, we all always appreciate when you get a really razor sharp edge out of the box, so you know it's going to basically last you for a while until you need to maintain it. But again, this is another great knife, probably not as comfortable to me as the little chunk, okay, because this has a more girth in the handle, but this is equally as good and a very good everyday carry. Great price, great everyday carry, and you know, very strong construction. Finally, we have the Mohawk. The Mohawk, again, another knife design from Hawkins Rose. Really, this is probably the heavier of all the knives. It feels the most robust in the hand. It just feels like this knife with this, I love this beautiful harpoon shaped type of blade. I believe it's a D2 steel as well. Yes, it is. But the good thing about all these knives is, guys, especially for people that live in states that they have a limitation in the size of the blades that you can carry legally. In New York State, it's got to be under 4 inches. All these knives are under 4 inches, so I'm perfectly comfortable carrying each and every one of these knives. Thank you, Rosecraft Blades, for thinking of us, okay, who have restrictions in terms of knife carry. But this is still, this is probably the longest of the blades, and it's still about 3.5 inches. The other ones are around 3 inches, 3.2, 3.25 inches. So these are, I am perfectly, and I think that's why I'm also really digging these Rosecraft blades, because I'm perfectly comfortable carrying these knives in my pocket, knowing that the blades are in the size restrictions of my state. So if you have that type of issue and you have a size restriction issue, then I would say Rosecraft blades are making knives just for you. And they're fun, guys. Again, this is probably the longest of the handles, and this fits extremely well. This will definitely fit someone with extra large hands. A finger choil right here that you can definitely get in with the longer blade and do some fine detailed work. But setting yourself back and basically choking up the blade on the side or keeping it here, you have a couple different holds on this that would fare to be pretty much a great work knife, a great everyday knife. It's definitely tough. If you've seen Scab's video on this knife, he brought it to its paces. He absolutely loves this knife, and now I know why. Holding it in the hand and feeling the weight and the girth of the handle in the hands, and just feeling the balance and all that, and different ways that you can use this for work or camping or just an everyday carry. This is definitely a big plus with Rosecraft to be releasing this Mohawk. It's definitely, I think, one of their most popular knives, and I think it's more because it's just the most heavier, more robust knife of their mix. And if you are looking to basically work with it, okay, this is definitely a great knife. Again, 2 ways of opening. You have your thumb studs, which I just did, and then you have a really nice rear flipper. Really great knife. Guys, these are all wonderful knives from Rosecraft. Now, I am going to basically be putting through all these knives through their paces. This is definitely my favorite. I love this. I want to be able to carry them for a little while and let you know what I feel about carrying each and every one of them. And then I'm going to basically let you know, I mean, how easy is it to deploy? How easy is it to basically use every day? And then I'll bring it through some more intensive testing and let you know how to lock up, how the edge retention holds up on their steels. Right off the bat, guys, the designs for me are freaking stellar. I love the designs of each and every one of these knives that I have so far from Rosecraft Blades. That for me is a big selling point so far. Then I'll give you more testament of what I feel about the knives. But so far, and from what I've seen from Scab and from JB, these knives are definitely a big hit. And Rosecraft Blades is no joke, guys. They're giving you great knives at a great price. price. I'm not trying to sell them to you, but I'm really just trying to give you all the experience I can so far with these knives, and then I am going to basically, with future videos, show you each knife and what they can do and what they're all about. So guys, thanks for sticking around. I appreciate your support as always. If you're a new comer to my channels, I love my knives, but I am a sword guy. Check out my sword videos, check out my knife videos. Thank you for all your support. Stay tuned for upcoming videos on Rosecraft blades. Until next knife or sword video, much love and respect to each and every one of you. I'll see you when I see you. Have a good one, guys. Ciao.